All right, friends, find any comfy seat that suits you. I like a Sukhasana, okay? Your shins cross, your feet are near your knees, okay? Very simple. Close your eyes and just take a moment to sit still. Find big inhales and big exhales. Allow your face to soften, maybe into a little smile. And as you take in the biggest breath you can, feel your body expanding in all directions, especially in your rib cage. As you find your biggest exhales, feel your body contracting inward, especially in your belly. Notice the nice heaviness of your hips on the ground. Just kind of enjoying your connection to the earth. And balancing out that heavy, grounded feeling, I want you to also cultivate a lifted feeling through the top of your head and your heart, so that you're equally buoyant and grounded. Next time you take a breath in, make it as complete as you can. Take in as much air as you have available space. And then hold, take in a little more. Hold, take in a little more. Hold it. And then exhale completely. Keep going to the bottom of your exhale. More, more, more. Hold. And then let that go. Find a normal breath in. And let your breath return to a more natural pace. All right, we're gonna wake up your shoulders and your upper body here. So take your arms out to the side, just like wings. And make your arms very blade-like, so very strong. Think of activating the top of your arm and the sides of your arm and your armpit and your shoulder and your hands. And then with your fingertips, very pointy fingertips, without moving your wrists or elbows, start to draw tiny circles around your shoulder. So if you could imagine somewhere where the center of your shoulder might be, that is the center of your fingertip circle. And just nice and slow and easy with these little circles. Okay, the circle goes equally up, down, and to the sides. It's a very symmetrical. So let's start to grow the little circles very gradually. Gradually growing them. Okay, so notice when you pull the hands back behind where your spine is, there's a little extra challenge there. And I want you to kind of embrace that challenge and lean into it, pulling those hands back behind your spine. The back half of the circle, right? Keep it going a little bigger. A little bigger. You might be feeling some warmth and some challenge in your shoulders, and that's okay. A little bigger. And now your circles are so big that they couldn't really get any bigger. You're scraping the floor. Your hands go as far back as you can put them, and you're bumping your thumbs up top. Take a few like this. This is all of your available shoulder range of motion. You're using it all. And now let's rewind this. Let's keep it really big and slow, okay? But just change one thing. Push through the palms this time. So now you're drawing the circle with your wrist, with the heel of your palm. Big and slow. Now let's start very slowly bringing the circles back into center. No rush. Slower. Slower. Okay, feeling some effort in your shoulders. Definitely looking forward to resting them, but finish out these little circles. Maybe these are your last 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Let that go. Let your hands just rest on your knees, perhaps, and maybe a few shoulder rolls are in order to kind of shake it out. All right, rolling them all around in both directions. Okay, let your shoulders rest here. I just want to wake up your neck here and do some nice little therapeutic movement for your neck. So just look over at your right shoulder. Point your nose at that right shoulder. And do your best to keep your shoulder blades down, even though it's challenging. From your right shoulder, point your nose up. Make a rainbow shape. And allow your rainbow to point over at the left shoulder. Okay, same thing, bring it up overhead, rainbow. To the right. And rainbow to the left. Okay, maybe close your eyes here and use your breath. Inhale up into the rainbow. And exhale when you land. Feel tension melting out of your neck. Let's do 3 more to each side. Massaging all the tissues in the back of your neck, spreading open your throat space. Okay, we hold a lot of tension there. 2 more on each side. Last one on each side. All right, let that go. Wow, notice how your neck feels. Okay, from here, friends, maybe you can roll forward onto hands and knees, or maybe taking your hands out to the side, whichever way. But let's meet on hands and knees. Come on through. Okay, let's get your spine and your shoulders and your hips warmed up even more. So tuck your toes here. We're gonna take a little cat-cow flowing, so a little variation. With your inhale, pull your elbows in, send your heart forward, cow pose. With your exhale, tuck your toes, push the floor away, downward facing dog. We're gonna lift the hips, lift the knees. Okay, and you can keep your knees really bent if you need to. So let's go back the way we came. Inhale for a cow pose, lifting that heart up. Exhale for a downward facing dog. Take a few more like this, just finding a rhythm. Waking up your legs, your back. And let's mix something in to activate your core a little more, okay? So here we go. Next time you're up in a down dog, pause there. And then this time with your inhale, shift your heart forward and find a plank pose. Your wrists will be right under your shoulders, and you can put your knees down to do that, okay? With your exhale, back down to downward facing dog. With your inhale, let's mix in that cow pose. Knees down, heart pulls forward with your extended arched spine. Now let's put all that flow together. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale for plank. With or without the knees down is great. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, cow. Now you take it. You keep moving, keep breathing. Feeling warmth build. Okay, cultivating strength in your shoulders. Maybe 2 more times, just like this. Keep that breath moving. Okay, so the next time you are in a plank pose, I would like to meet there. So hold there with me and let's just breathe. If you need to drop your knees, you know that you can, okay? You can put them further away from your hands for more challenge, okay, closer to your hands for less. But hold with me, I just want to spend some time in plank. Let's talk about it. Spread your fingers really wide and actively push the floor away, like you wanted to lift the back of your heart up to the ceiling. As well, lift your belly button up to the ceiling too, so your low back is strong and it's not dipping down. Try this. Try squeezing your elbows and your knees inward toward the center. And remember to breathe. See if you could smile. Okay, what if we spent 10 more seconds here? I think we can. What if we do 3, 2, and 1? Nice. Press yourself all the way back to a downward facing dog here. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. And take a moment just to hang. Bend your knees. Let your upper body just hang. All right, friends, let's start to move and float a little more. We're a bit warmer in the joints. From here, inhale, roll yourself up. Come on up tall. Reach up to the sky. Exhale here, drop it into your chair squat. Nice. Inhale here, all the way up to standing. Exhale here, fold it all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, just think of looking forward. And a big fold on your exhale. Palms are down here. Inhale, walk it forward to plank. Okay, a little bit of challenge coming up, so possibly using your knees. With your exhale, come halfway down to your elbows, okay? You can use your knees or not. Half plank. Inhale here, press it up through your plank. You're gonna reach up with your right hand and take a side plank. Now you can do this with your left knee down, okay, or not. Exhale here, down to your plank, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Inhale, back up to your plank, lift up the left arm, left side plank. Exhale down to your plank, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Inhale, back up to your plank, and exhale to your hands. Walk your feet to your hands and fold, shake it out. You can grab your elbows here and just hang. Notice your legs. Notice your arms. Notice your breath. And let's do it again. Same thing we did before. Inhale, roll yourself up. Lift your heart, lift your arms. Exhale, sit down low into your chair squat. Maybe challenge yourself to drop a little lower this time. Inhale to stand. Exhale to fold. Halfway up on your inhale. Really big fold on your exhale. Palms are down. Inhale to your plank. Here we go. We're going to do the same side plank thing again, just like we did before. Exhale here, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Inhale here, up to your right side plank. If you want extra spice, lift the top leg. Okay, less spice, drop the bottom knee. And exhale down to your plank at center. Halfway down, elbows to ribs. Inhale up to plank, left side up, half or a side plank. Maybe lift the top leg for extra spice. And exhale down to your plank, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Inhale up to your plank, and exhale, walk your hands back to your feet. Shake it off a little, bend your knees and hang your head. Okay, maybe you're taking your hands behind you here, moving them away from you. Feels nice on your shoulders and the front. As you're ready, friends, we're going to roll it up. So release your hands if you join them. Inhale and press into your heels. Come on up. Reach up tall. Exhale, sit down low into your chair squat, maybe a little lower than you went before. Inhale to stand. Exhale to fold. Halfway up, inhale. And a really big fold on your exhale. We're going to do the side plank thing one more time here, okay? So inhale, walking yourself forward into a plank. Use the knees as mods if you need it. Here we go. Exhale, halfway down, half plank. Inhale up through your plank to your right side plank. Maybe lift that top leg nice and high. Exhale down to your plank, halfway down. Inhale up through plank, left side plank. Lift that top leg, maybe really high this time. And exhale down to your plank, halfway down. Last one. Inhale up through your plank and exhale. Press it back here to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Whew, again, just hang. Take a moment here. Take some time. So allow those knees to bend. Allow yourself to hang. Notice how your shoulders are feeling after all that challenge. From here, friends, walk your hands forward and just find hands and knees. Hands and knees, here we are. Okay, let's take the right foot forward, set it by your right hand. Okay, and just rock the hips back and forth a little bit, just feeling it out. Back and forth. And you could put a nice flex in that right ankle. When you pull back especially, you'll feel a great stretch along the back of the right leg, okay? From the calf up to the glute. So I want to warm up your legs a little bit more. We got your arms pretty warm. So next time you settle back forward into that lunge, hold there. And start to resist the floor, okay? Make sure you put the left knee exactly how it needs to be. You can always adjust it. Okay, but start to resist the floor with your legs. And then you can stay in this really gentle low lunge if this is more appropriate for your practice today. Or you can spice it up if you'd like to warm your legs a little more. Maybe you're working on flexibility or range of motion and you want to open up that left hip, you can lift the left knee. So just breathe here with me. Push the floor down and pull the legs toward each other. We're going to take a few more breaths in this low lunge, just building some heat. Okay, now I'm going to give you the option to stay with your hands down as you push the floor and pull your legs toward each other, or use your right leg to press up. And remember, the back knee can be up or down. And if you like to lift your upper body, you can lift your arms as well and get a great heart opening. So you can keep it real gentle on the floor, friends, or lift it up into the sky. It's all up to you. Wherever you are, push that floor down and pull the legs toward each other. Think of lifting the back knee if it's up and drop into the front hip. Maybe if your arms are up with your last breath, you interlace your fingers and lift that sternum up into the sky. As you're ready to let it go, drop your hands down inside that right foot and drop the back knee if it was up. Okay, we're gonna pull the right hip back now. Pull it back and flex the right foot, pointing the toes at your nose. So come up on your fingertips, okay? Unless you have especially long arms, fingers under shoulders will give you that long spine that we were looking for. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a kind of a funky challenge here. It's pretty funky. So your right leg is long and flexed at the ankle. So your challenge is, I'm gonna ask you to lift your right leg off the floor and try to move the right toe to your nose. And it might not lift off the floor, and that's okay. I just want you to activate as if you could. So here's how we're gonna do it. Take a big breath in, lengthen your spine, gather yourself. And as you exhale, try to lift that left heel up off the floor. It's okay if it does or doesn't. Exhale completely. And inhale, release it. Take a big breath as you pull back on the right hip. We're gonna do it 2 more times. Exhale, lift the right heel. Try to kick yourself. Exhale completely. Inhale, drop it, pull back on the hip, lengthen your spine. We're gonna do it 1 more time, okay? Exhale here, lift the heel, hold, lengthen your spine for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop it, pull back on the hip, and breathe right here. Now you have the option to stay here if you like, okay? You can also experiment with moving the left knee back a little bit. And if you're already experiencing a lot of tightness in the back of the right leg, you won't need to move the left knee very far back to get a little more. But if you feel pretty open, you can slide the right heel forward, you can move the left knee back, and you can experiment with more of a full split. Okay, you're gonna wanna have your hands next to your hips, so you can walk your hands in closer towards you, underneath your shoulders. But wherever you are is perfect, okay, if it feels good and you're still having fun. So take maybe 1 more long, slow breath wherever you are. Attempting to have your longest spine, your hands under your shoulders. And then we'll bring it back to hands and knees. So you can get your palms back on the floor. Swing that right knee back underneath your right hip. Tuck your toes here. Let's bring it up and back to a downward facing dog for a little bit. All right, take your time up in your down dog. Push the floor away from you. Pull the knees and elbows in towards center. Notice how the back of the right leg feels. Take a few more breaths here, lengthening the shoulders down your back. I like to think of spinning the heels so I can't see them anymore. And making the neck extra long. Okay, beautiful people. Let's bring it back down to hands and knees. So come on down with your knees, and we'll do all of that on the other side. So the lunge, the half split, maybe a full split. So let's bring the left foot forward by the left hand. Rock the hips a little bit. Just give it a little movement back and forth. You're waking up your legs. You can come up on your fingertips if it helps to keep your spine longer. Okay, and then rock forward into the lunge and just be here. All right, you can stay on your fingertips. You can come down to your palms. Make sure the right knee is just how you want it, okay? And we'll start to activate the legs. So pushing into the floor, pulling them toward each other. Okay, and you could stay right here and you could keep your lunge low to the ground and quite gentle if that's your vibe today. Okay, if you wanted to spice it, okay, heat it up a little bit, you'll just tuck the back toe and you'll lift the back knee. Okay, that's gonna get a little bit more into your right hip, give you a little bit more space to move. Okay, additionally, with or without the right knee up or down, you can come up with your upper body using that left knee to lift up your chest, okay? You can get your arms up overhead as well. And we're just gonna breathe here. Think of pushing the floor down, pulling the legs inward, and lifting that heart. Nice breath here, just building heat. Okay, keep the legs strong, keep the belly button moving in, especially if you've lifted your heart. For your last breath, interlace your fingers, maybe lift that sternum a little more. And come on down with your hands if they were up. Come on down with the back knee if it was up. And we'll pull the hips back again, back into a half split. Okay, Ardha Hanumanasana. Up on your fingertips, under your shoulders with your hands. So we want to try to keep a long spine and really pull back, digging down in that left heel, pulling back in the left hip. Okay, so we have this funky challenge on this side now. So do your best to keep the flex in your left foot. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to lift the left heel up off the floor. It does not matter if it actually leaves or not. It might not, okay? Try it anyway. Here we go. Big breath in, lengthening your spine, pulling your left hip back. And as you exhale, try to kick yourself with your left foot. Exhale completely. Inhale to let it go. Pull back on the hip. 2 more times. Exhale, hover. Inhale, let it go. Last time, are you ready? Exhale, hover. Now hold strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. So you can stay right here, just enjoying the beautiful stretch along the back of your left leg as you flex your left ankle and kind of drive the left ankle down, left heel down. Or you can experiment with a full split or more of a full split. You want to keep your hands under your shoulders, but you can experiment with moving the left heel forward and or the right knee back, okay? And maybe just part of the way is perfect for you today, okay? No matter where you are, you should be having a good time and it should still feel good. And your hands, you want to keep your hands under your shoulders. So just whatever that means for you, okay? Just take a few breaths here, feeling some big release across the back of the left leg and the front of the right hip. Make sure that right knee and the top of the right foot are always touching the floor, okay? So taking your last breath here, wherever you are. Okay, start to walk yourself back up and out of it. Hands underneath your shoulders, and we'll bring it back to hands and knees from here. The left knee back to hands and knees. And from here, how about another downward facing dog? Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and notice how the backs of your legs feel now. There's probably a big difference. Push the floor down, lift your belly button high. Maybe walk your fingers a little further forward to lengthen your stance in this posture. Okay, and I like to think of the arches of the feet and the center of your palm as lifting up like a little suction cup. One more big breath here in your downward facing dog. And then let it go. Shift yourself all the way forward to a plank here. Big breath in. And with your exhale, could you lower yourself in super slow motion to the floor? And we'll take some cobras here. So hands are under your shoulders, elbows are squishing in by your rib cage. With your inhales, really grab the mat and pull your heart forward, lifting it up. With your exhale, set it down. And we'll take a few more cobras just like that, just flowing and finding a rhythm. Inhale to lift your heart, and exhale to set it down. Please remember, although it's tempting, always pull the heart up and never push the floor away, please. Avoid pushing. Why? Because if you're going to extend your spine, if you're going to arch your spine like this, you need to be adding length to it at the same time rather than just crunching it back. Make sense? Take a few more. Think of pointing your tailbone down as you lift your heart. Okay, this can be a really tiny movement where your heart barely leaves the floor, and that's great. And it can be a really huge movement where your heart lifts to the sky, and that's good too. Okay, next time you come up to your cobra, hold it right there and just breathe. Okay, you're continuing to pull on the floor. Your elbows are moving in, your tailbone points down. Hold and breathe. Now you have the option to stay in your cobra, or maybe you get your hands right underneath your shoulders, press the tops of your feet down, and push the floor away so that your thighs are actually off the floor. Okay, upward facing dog. You want really strong glutes. You want really strong quads. Your legs are like rock. Okay, one more big breath in your upward facing dog. And then with your exhale, drop yourself back to the floor. You can rest your forehead here. Take your hands to your sides, just resting your arms by your side. Noticing heat in your back and your arms. From here, friends, I'd like to get a little back bendy with you. So feel free to take breaks and stop along the way if you need to. From here, that same feeling of pointing your tailbone down, go ahead and play with that. You can just rest your forehead on the floor. I'll use my words. So point the tailbone down. Think of lifting your belly button. Feel how strong your glutes are, okay? And then see if it feels okay to just lift your nose. Just your nose off the mat, looking down. Now that might be quite enough for your back. And then you just stay right here. But if your back says, that's okay, we can do more, then keep your tailbone pointing down and start to lift your legs. See how that feels. Okay, your back might say, that's enough. So listen to your back. Okay, keep that belly button lifting. That's going to keep your low back safe. Now you might also lift your hands and reach them back behind you. Breathe. Now I'm going to keep going, okay? So if you feel like you want to stop, you're going to stop along the way and just be where you are. Don't feel like you have to keep going. So try bending your right knee, pointing the right toes at the back of your head. Take your right hand and see if you could grab the outside of your right ankle. It might happen today and it might not. And either way is awesome, okay? Maybe today you're just reaching and that's fantastic. If you grab the ankle, great. Take a few breaths here. Let's see if we can try the left side. Bend the left knee, point the left toes at the back of your head, and grab that left ankle. Okay, now you might choose to do this one leg at a time or both legs at the same time. It's up to you. If you have one or two ankles, awesome. Start to push the ankles away from you. Now notice that your chest is going to come with your ankles. Breathe into that. If everything's feeling great, you can start to lift your knees as you pull your ankles back. Breathe. Keep that sense of the belly button lifting up toward the spine. Okay, so your toes are above your head, then you can switch your hand grip to the inside of your ankles with your thumb pointing up. And that's just going to give you a little bit more space to lift a little higher. In your bow pose, see if you can feel a rocking movement as you breathe. Let yourself rock. Three more breaths. Two more. Last one. And come out slowly the same way you came in, okay? Try to back out step by step. And so you can just rest your forehead on the floor and soak up all that back bend glitter. Should feel really good. From here, my friends, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, and see if you could push it up through a plank. Okay, we just want a little core activation after that back bend, just a momentary plank. And then exhale here. Drop your knees, drop your hips to one side and come to a seat. You could take your legs out in front of you and shake it out. So great back bending, nice opening for the whole front of your body. You should feel exhilarating and exciting. And now that we did a little core activation just to balance that out, we'd also want to twist. So bring your right foot in very close to you and step it down by your hips. So the right knee points up. And as always, if you have trouble sitting up tall here, it feels not easy on your body, you can just bend the left knee, the long leg knee, and maybe that'll allow you to sit up taller. Use your left arm to hold the right leg and look behind you. You can use the right fingers on the floor to push down. And breathe. Long spine on your inhale. Big twist on your exhale. Think a big chest and a strong belly. And maybe you want to deepen this by taking the left elbow to the outer right knee. You can go a little deeper into your twist. Let's take one more breath here. Nice big breath into your chest. And a big exhale into your belly. All right, swing yourself out of that. Let's push that right knee to the floor. Just push it down. Fingers down on either side of your left leg now. Okay, again, if you're having trouble feeling easy in this posture, bend the left knee. Not a problem, okay? Feeling pretty good though here, you're gonna start to activate your legs against the floor. Remember, actively pushing the floor down. And just start to move your heart toward that left big toe. Take your time, close your eyes. Your spine is long on your inhales. And on your exhales, you're pushing the floor away with your legs. And that's gonna give you some nice folding power. You may eventually come down to your elbows. And although your spine is draping over your lower body, you're still doing your best to keep it long, right? With a long neck. Breathe space into your low back here. It should feel really good. The back of your left leg. Taking one more really long, slow breath here. Long spine inhale. Resist the floor on your exhale. And start to walk yourself slowly back up. No rush. Come on up. Okay, here we can release the right leg and switch sides. So now the left knee will bend, the left foot comes in and steps by your hips, okay? So same idea here. If it's hard for you to sit up tall, bend that right knee now. The right knee will bend. Give you a little bit more space. Okay. So the right arm hugs the left leg, and the left fingers behind you make you a little taller. Breathe here. Big chest on your inhale. Strong belly on your exhale. You can deepen it with the right elbow outside the left knee. Keep breathing. Feel all the space behind your right shoulder blade, this rib cage spreading open. Last breath. Okay, roll out of it, friends. Come out of that twist. Push the left knee to the floor, and we'll start to fold forward over this right leg. So do what you need to do with the right knee, bending it more or less. Fingers down around the right leg. You have a long spine on your inhale. And you push the floor away from you on your exhale. You don't even really need to use your hands at all. Long spine inhale. Push the floor, exhale. And give yourself lots of time, okay, to fold. It might take time. But just look for pleasant sensations in your low back, behind the right leg. Come down to your elbows if you like and drop your head as well, but keep that length in your spine. Take your last breath here. And walk yourself back up and out. Take your time. Okay, from here, come back to the comfortable seat that we started in. Okay, back where we started. Shins crossed, feet by your knees, hands on your knees. Sitting equally into both hips, you have a nice long spine. A lot of space on the front of your body, a lot of strength on the back. The breath comes free and easy now. No need to control the breath. Your body is free and easy. And there's no extraneous effort. Just enough to sit here. All right, check your face. Do you have some extraneous tension in your jaw that you could release? Probably. Check your hands and feet. Are they soft? Allow the breath to come and go, melting tension out of your body, anything that's left. Notice how it feels to be connected to the earth. Your hips are grounded. You feel supported. Notice how it feels to be connected to the sky. Your head and your heart feel like there might be lifting upward a little bit. Allow yourself to experience this moment just as it is. So please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. Thanks so much for joining me.